Hello everyone, and thank you for watching today's Exchange 2016 Technical Updates webcast. This webcast is designed for IT professionals who may be considering a new deployment, migration, or enterprise consolidation to Exchange 2016. We will highlight some of the compelling changes to Microsoft's latest on-premise messaging solution and explain what you need to know to prepare your environment. Before we dive in, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mike Schellenberger, and I'm on the Enterprise Cloud and Microsoft Solutions team here at Candoris Technologies. I've been working with Microsoft Solutions and specifically Exchange for a little over 14 years now. I'm an MCSA in Windows Server 2012 and an MCSE in Exchange 2013. I'm also a Kemp certified engineer, and for those that are unfamiliar with Kemp, I'll be explaining a little bit more about Kemp's application delivery controller solutions later in this presentation. If you have any questions or feedback for me after watching today's presentation, please feel free to call, email, or connect with me on Twitter. Our agenda in today's technical deep dive on Exchange 2016 includes the following. What's new in Exchange 2016, especially if you're migrating from Exchange 2010 or earlier? What features have been discontinued, consolidated into other roles, or otherwise deprecated? Requirements for your environment in order to migrate to Exchange 2016. A brief explanation of Office Online Server and its role in an Exchange organization. An example physical deployment of Exchange 2016 for a small or medium-sized environment. Virtualization benefits and considerations. High availability deployments and options for site resiliency. Layer 7 load balancing benefits and the fit for Kemp Technologies application delivery controllers. Tips and tricks for managing Exchange 2016, and finally we'll end with what a typical Exchange migration project looks like for Candoris customers. Let's dive right into what's new with Exchange 2016. For those of you migrating from Exchange 2010 or earlier versions, you'll notice the most change and improvement. However, there's also benefits to those migrating from Exchange 2013. Exchange Admin Center. Exchange 2016 provides a single, unified web console that allows for ease of access from anywhere and is optimized for management of on-premises, online, or hybrid deployments with Exchange Online. The console is entirely web-based and replaces the Exchange Management Tools installation from previous versions. The Exchange Management Shell is also another powerful way to manage your environment, especially as you become more familiar with the new command syntax. Server architecture. With Exchange 2016, we see a reduction in the number of server roles down to 2, the mailbox and the edge transport roles. The mailbox server role includes all functionality otherwise provided in earlier versions of Exchange Client Access, Unified Messaging, and Hub Transport roles. The edge transport role is meant to be deployed in a perimeter network and can offer additional benefits in regards to message hygiene in the transport process. Data loss prevention. With the DLP policy in Exchange 2016, you can now identify, monitor, and protect 80 different types of sensitive information. This is an important improvement and can help prevent sensitive data from being shared over email. Some examples might include social security numbers, credit card numbers, or industry trade secrets. Transport rules. You can use Exchange transport rules to look for specific conditions in messages that pass through your organization and then take action on them. An example might include appending a legal disclaimer or signature to all outbound emails, or perhaps copying team members on emails containing predefined conditions such as a specific subject text. In-place hold. In-place hold is a unified hold model that allows you to meet your organization's retention requirements without a third-party solution. There are still compelling reasons why you might want to consider a third-party solution, but we won't be diving any deeper into that particular topic today. eDiscovery. eDiscovery allows authorized users to search mailbox data across all mailboxes and in-place archives in an Exchange 2016 organization, and can copy messages to a discovery mailbox for further review. eDiscovery is a fast and efficient means to retrieve messages in an environment where Exchange native in-place hold is used to meet corporate messaging requirements. Auditing features. Exchange 2016 includes in-depth reports detailing mailbox access by users and administrators. It's an important feature to keep an audit trail for things like mailbox access so users or administrators aren't tempted to abuse their rights. Anti-malware. Basic anti-malware capabilities are built into Exchange 2016 Transport, decreasing the need for a third-party solution installed on Exchange servers. An important side note here, I still highly recommend deploying an edge transport or a third-party solution for messaging hygiene at the perimeter of your network, wherever mail flows into and out of your organization. Public folders. Public folders are now a mailbox component and can benefit from high availability features such as database availability groups. It's still recommended to explore alternatives to public folders such as SharePoint team sites where applicable. Public folders continue to be a deprecated feature of Exchange. Integration with Skype. A Skype for Business environment can archive instant messaging and call history to Exchange 2016. It also uses Exchange 2016 as its main contact store. Outlook on the web. Outlook Web Access has been rebranded as Outlook on the Web. Supported web browsers for Outlook on the Web include Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer 11, and the most recent versions of Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari. The new user interface is simplified and much more browser agnostic than previous versions. MAPI over HTTP is now the default communication protocol between Outlook clients and Exchange 2016. Outlook clients that don't support MAPI over HTTP will fall back to Outlook Anywhere or RPC over HTTP protocol. The new protocol offers more efficient, secure communications between clients and servers and provides a simple means of client access publishing through enterprise firewalls. High availability and site resilience. The high availability platform, the Exchange Information Store, and the Extensible Storage Engine, or ESE, have all been enhanced to provide greater availability, easier management, and to reduce costs. With all the new functionality comes discontinued or deprecated features. Architecture. As mentioned in the previous slide, the mailbox server role now performs all functionality that was previously included with the client access server, hub transport, and unified messaging roles. If an application uses the MAPI or CDO library, it needs to move to Exchange Web Services, Exchange ActiveSync, or the REST APIs in order to communicate with Exchange 2016. Management Console. The locally installed Exchange Management Console has been replaced with Exchange Administrative Center. Also, Exchange Control Panel has been replaced, expanding options for client settings in Outlook on the web. RPC or TCP access for Outlook clients. Outlook clients can connect using Outlook Anywhere or RPC over HTTP, or the new MAPI over HTTP with Outlook 2013 Service Pack 1 and later. The new MAPI over HTTP protocol is more efficient than all previous protocols. Outlook Web App and Outlook Spellcheck has been removed. The Spellcheck features deployed in all mainstream web browsers now takes over that responsibility. Chat Contact List. The chat contact list that appeared in the folder list of Outlook Web App for Exchange 2010 is no longer available. Search folders. The ability for users to use search folders isn't currently available with Outlook Web App. Managed folders. In Exchange 2016, managed folders are no longer supported. Instead, you can use the retention policies included with message records management to provide similar capabilities. In order to migrate from a previous version of Exchange, you must meet the minimum system and environment requirements. Upgrade paths include direct migration capability from Exchange 2010 Service Pack 3 with Update Rollup 11 or later, or Exchange 2013 Cumulative Update 10 or later. If you are migrating from Exchange 2007 or 2003, you'll first need to migrate to Exchange 2010 or 2013 before attempting to migrate to Exchange 2016. All Active Directory domain controllers in the environment must be running Windows Server 2008 or later. Also, your Active Directory forest and domain functional level must be at least Windows Server 2008 or later. An example deployment will be shown in a later slide, but the bare minimum hardware requirements are as follows. A 64-bit capable AMD or Intel chipset, note that Itanium chipsets are not supported, at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, and plenty of REFS or NTFS formatted space for mailbox and/or transaction log data. System volumes are still NTFS only. Windows Server 2012 or later can be leveraged as the server operating system. Note that in order to deploy on Windows Server 2016, you must use an Exchange 2016 installer that contains Cumulative Update 3 or later. Supported Outlook clients include Outlook 2016, 2013, 2010 with KB 296-5295, Outlook for Mac, the Office 365 version, or Outlook for Mac 2011. In order to achieve the best client experience, Outlook 2016 is recommended for use with Exchange 2016. Office Online Server enables users to view supported file attachments within Outlook on the web without downloading them first and without having a local installation of the Office program necessary. Without Office Online Server installed, Outlook users need to download attachments to their local computer and then open them with a local application. Customers with a volume licensing account can download Office Online Server from the Volume Licensing Service Center at no cost and will have view-only functionality, which includes PowerPoint sharing, in Skype for Business. Customers that require document creation, editing, and save functionality in Office Online Server will need to have an on-premises Office Suite license with software assurance or an Office 365 Pro Plus subscription. An important limitation to note is that Office Online Server can't be installed on an Exchange server, SharePoint server, Active Directory domain controller, or any other computer with an existing application currently installed. The provisioned server or servers in a high availability deployment should be dedicated to the Office Online Server role. The following 3 slides show an example hardware deployment of Exchange 2016. Note that this specific guidance was built by Dell for Exchange 2013, but the same core principles apply when sizing Exchange 2016. This particular environment is scoped for 2,500 mailboxes with a 5 GB mailbox storage limitation and assumes most users are sending and receiving approximately 150 messages per day. The solution is powered by 2 Dell PowerEdge R730 XD servers. And I won't read off every detail on the slide, but note the number of drives and the dedicated volume for database recovery. This diagram provides a more visual depiction of database assignment and RAID volumes. Note the specific volumes and RAID 1 configuration for each set of databases. This solution is designed to take advantage of cheaper nearline SAS storage while providing maximum performance and redundancy with the Exchange database availability groups. In Microsoft's recommended Exchange server topology, adding a third server, and thus a third copy of the mailbox databases via Exchange DAGs, eliminates the need for RAID 1 volumes, and JBOD, or just a bunch of disks methodology, can be leveraged. Don't forget a hot spare and a dedicated restore volume when building a physical Exchange server environment. This next diagram shows the example physical deployment in the overall network topology. Note the 2 servers participating in a database availability group for mailbox database redundancy and the KEMP application delivery controllers publishing client access to the Exchange servers for internal and for external clients. We'll talk more about that in a later slide. Office Online Server is also deployed in a single server in this topology, but note that it can be made highly available by deploying multiple servers with a network load balancing technology. So what about virtualization? Most organizations have spent the past 10 years or more deploying virtualization solutions to maximize their hardware investment and provide better availability of critical servers and applications. All Exchange 2016 server roles are supported in a virtual machine environment. It is important that your virtualization environment meets Microsoft's requirements in order to be fully supported. Although Exchange is fully supportable in a virtualization environment, here are a few considerations to take into account when deciding between physical and virtual. Dynamic memory or over-committing memory resources is highly discouraged. This is one of the core benefits of virtualization. To follow Microsoft's best practices, this means dedicating memory to your Exchange virtual machines and not allowing the hypervisor to dynamically manage. Pass-through disks for mailbox and transport log storage is highly encouraged. This model adds an additional layer of complexity to the environment and often negates some of the benefits of virtualized storage. Also, tack on that dynamically expanding disks are not recommended. Native or third-party virtualization snapshotting technology is highly discouraged and unsupported. An Exchange-aware backup solution should be your go-to protection for any Exchange server in a virtualization environment. As a side note, most virtualization environments are deployed on fast, expensive storage area networks. Microsoft's recommended architecture for physical deployments leverages cheap, slower storage while maintaining the same level of high availability as SAN can provide by leveraging the Exchange software for high availability. This frees your more expensive, faster storage in the virtualization environment for more important applications and services such as CRM or line of business apps. Exchange 2016 continues to expand on the recent improvements to high availability and site resilience in recent Exchange versions. Database availability groups continue to be improved upon and offer an inexpensive way to ensure your mailbox data stays consistent. Up to 16 mailbox servers can participate in a DAG. Microsoft has also made improvements to the mailbox storage IOPS and failover time for DAG nodes. Again, JBOD is a recommended solution when deploying Exchange per the Microsoft recommended architecture. High availability of transport services has also been improved with functionality like safety net and shadow redundancy, ensuring that a message is never lost in transport between servers. Client access is also now a stateless function, which opens the door for technologies such as DNS round robin in environments where load balancers are not present. There are still substantial benefits to leveraging a Layer 7 load balancing solution, which we'll review later. This diagram shows an example environment where Exchange site resiliency is deployed. Note that a third data center is needed to host the necessary witness role. This creates an environment where automatic failover between sites can occur during a downtime event. Without the third data center, site resiliency can still be leveraged, however manual effort would be necessary from an administrator in order to properly fail over the services. Azure Virtual Machines can be an inexpensive option for the third-party data center site hosting the witness role. Now let's talk about benefits of an application delivery controller solution in an Exchange 2016 deployment. Application delivery controllers are designed to offload the Exchange servers from mundane, rudimentary tasks while also shifting the entry point of client access to the environment to a solution that can add additional security and high availability features. A Layer 7 load balancer is designed to intelligently balance client traffic. A load balancer ensures that traffic is distributed between all of the Exchange servers in a manner that's entirely configurable, whether that is evenly between all the systems or on a weight-based system. You can even take into account current hardware performance on each node and redirect traffic to less taxed servers. With a hardware load balancer, each Exchange service, such as ActiveSync, can be monitored on an individual basis. For example, if ActiveSync fails on one Exchange server, all ActiveSync traffic can be rerouted to a server that's functioning, while still utilizing the original server for other services that are still healthy, such as Outlook on the web. Taking advantage of other features, such as Kemp's Edge Security Pack or Web Application Firewall, can help further protect an Exchange client access server from malicious traffic. Some additional features that can be offered are pre-authentication, single sign-on for remote Exchange 2016 users, providing security to the organization that was once provided by other products, such as Microsoft Threat Management Gateway, creating a single point of entry for all client access with an application delivery controller makes future migrations of Exchange very simple, as new servers can be introduced on the fly, while gently drain stopping connections to old servers. When it comes to application delivery controllers, our recommended solution is the Loadmaster from Kemp Technologies. They've won repeated awards in the Exchange industry and offer cost-effective solutions for all environments by means of physical, virtual, or bare metal deployments. Here are a few highlighted tips and tricks we've learned along the way. Putting a server that is part of a database availability group into a maintenance mode before taking the server offline is always a good idea. Follow the link provided for an excellent tutorial on how to do this. When it comes to volumes that will host Exchange mailbox or transaction log data, Resilient File System, or REFS, is the better formatting option. Keep in mind though, system volumes can only be NTFS at this point. Use lag database copies to prevent data loss in the event of a disaster. Lag database copies replay transaction logs into a database after an administrator-defined delay. If a database corruption were to occur, that database could unintentionally replicate to other DAG nodes, creating a disaster situation. Because the lagged copy would be delayed, it can be replayed into the production environment up to the point of corruption, giving you a fast, efficient means of recovering from your corruption without restoring from backup. Don't forget, you also need an Exchange-aware backup solution in place on your Exchange 2016 servers prior to migrating production mailbox data. Without an Exchange-aware backup, transaction logs will grow indefinitely, and your user's mail data is not protected in the event of a database corruption. Here's what an example migration to Exchange 2016 looks like for a typical Candoris customer. We perform a health check or assessment of the existing environment before proceeding with any installation work. The assessment helps us determine if any remediation efforts are needed prior to the migration, and also helps us build our technical specifications document, which is a snapshot of all the technical details about the environment as it stands today. The technical specifications document can be crucial to refer back to during the migration if problems occur. We then build our deployment plan based off Microsoft best practices and the results of the technical specifications document. We include plans for pilot testing and reverting back in the event of a problem, as those are important parts of any plan. When all parties have been briefed and are in agreement with the deployment plan, we execute on building the environment and migrating data. Once all data has been migrated to Exchange 2016, the post-migration tasks of removing the older Exchange servers from the environment can take place. We also build another technical specifications document at this point to document the environment as it's been built. This is helpful for onboarding new IT staff or when discussing your Exchange messaging topology with other vendors. So how can Candoris assist your organization with Exchange 2016? If you've made the decision to migrate to Exchange 2016, there are a number of ways we may be able to help. We are a Microsoft Silver Messaging Competency Partner and have experienced local certified engineers on staff for services engagements. A typical Exchange migration engagement includes all of the high-level milestones from the previous slide, plus a knowledge transfer between your staff and our engineers once the migration is complete. If you have software assurance benefits on your existing Exchange software licensing, Microsoft offers planning services engagements for free with qualified partners like Candoris. We are also an authorized reseller of volume licensing and can quote any upgraded licensing you may need for your Exchange 2016 environment. This concludes today's webcast on Exchange 2016. If you have any questions or feedback for us after watching today's presentation, please feel free to call, email, or connect with us on Twitter. Thanks again for watching.